Although the facts are there every single day, it's hard for people to see them. It's really hard to see them. Let's just try this. $100 invested in 1982 is worth what today? Before you think about your answer, ask the following question. Do dart pickers or experts do better? Anybody know the answer? Do the dart pickers or the experts win in making investment decisions? Darts, that's correct. You have to be careful about experts. They never win. I always say the chimpanzees and darts get it right. Experts do not know how to pick stocks, nor to pick trends. They don't even listen to the markets. That's why they're experts. They think they know the answers. And so here's the question. $100 invested in the stock market is now worth $1,200. Now, it's 1980s, early 1980s, in fact, 70s, and there's a young guy by the name of Bill. He's right now in college. He has an idea. He's listening to, remember those ideas, records? Everybody used to remember the old idea of a record? Everybody has a record player? Remember those days? He's thinking, I want to listen to a record player. Here's a simple idea. The oil industry is thinking they're doing really well. They're producing more barrels of oil. He's thinking, gee, barrels of oil, that's interesting. I'm listening to a record that's built out of oil. It's called pressed plastic. Why don't I use the same concept, which is driving sound, to produce software? Everybody know who Bill was? Bill Gates, right. So here you have one industry thinking about destroying business models. Here you have one industry thinking about if I produce more of $5 barrels of oil, I'll do well. And Bill's thinking about who cares about the oil. I'll put some code on that oil, pressed plastic, and I'll make software. Remember, that's all it is. Pressed plastic is oil. How much is $100 invested in that business model? Software versus a market basket of securities. Is it worth more or less than $1,200? More. How much more? A lot more. Everybody want to guess? This does not hurt. $1 million? Any other guesses? $600? $16,000? Well, the answer is 30 times more. Simple idea. Oil does not matter. Software does. What drives the code is more important than what we take out of the earth. What's in my head. Now, here's something I grew up with a long time understanding. I'm sure you all know the answers as well. Real estate is a hedge against. Everybody know the answer? Inflation, but you remember about experts, I already told you, not really. Real estate's a hedge against making money, according to Charles Clough, who's the chief investment officer of Merrill Lynch. And let me give you the facts. When everything goes up, it's perfectly correlated on the downside. Real estate goes down. And when everything goes down, real estate goes down some more. Now, let me just make sure we got these numbers from the facts. And the reason I know these are facts is because they're reported every single week in the Wall Street Journal on Fridays. So how much is $100 invested in real estate from all the real estate experts in this audience? Is it worth more or less than $1,200? More or less than $31,000? Anybody want to guess where $100 invested in the greatest real estate investors of our time? Much less than $1,200 or much less than $31,000? $1,200, great. It is worth half of the rounding error from software. Half of the rounding error from software. Now, I don't know about you, but half of a rounding error from the software industry makes me worried about investing in real estate. So when someone tells me real estate's a good investment, I say, I'm wondering about that. How many of you are selling everything your business has to offer online? Forget about at half price. Their hands are up, half price. On top of that, you can contact them after the show. You can contact Josh for selling everything you have for half price. But before we go there, how many of you are selling what you have online right now? Hands up from the audience. A few of you. Now, the answer is statistically it's a problem. It's only 3% of you, just like you showed in your audience. Now, here's the problem. If 50% of you are buying online and 3% of you are selling online, there is a problem with your business model already. Because it'd be like Walmart opening up 50 stores in every community in the United States and only making available 3 stores in which you can shop. So if you wonder why the online world is transforming business, it's really the 3% of those businesses that are transforming the rest. Because all of you are already online and purchasing. But not all of you are selling it. Story number 2. My wife says, what's up with that? When I grew up, my father from West Point married my mother from Finch Finishing School for Women. And they basically had a basic thesis, which is if you marry back then a uniform, like the way I'm dressed today, they'd be taken care of. Now here's the problem. My father and mother told me this. Everybody understand this little equation here? My father, who went to West Point, as I said to you, taught me a basic theory in life. Get an asset, house, don't over-leverage it with a mortgage, get a life. Get a second home, get another mortgage, get a life. Now the problem is I have all those. Let me continue. 1 boat, 2 boat, 4 cars, and a plane, and that's my life. And that's the way all businesses look. Get some more, and supposedly they're successful. Now the problem with that business model is as follows. My father and I never anticipated running into my wife. Now my wife comes along one day 20 years ago. I was lucky to say after 20 years she's finally trained me, she would say. I finally have paid attention to her. And she says something else to me. Hey, Barry, what's up with that? Where are the things I care about in life? Where are caring, sharing, community? All the things that make a difference. Remember, I'm dean at Harvard Medical and Dental School, Office of the Students, the future of human capital. How come you get paid 10 times, 100 times more a year than I get paid, but I train our future humans to take care of society? Where are people on your little measurement system? So I go back to our local accounting firm and ask them that question. Anybody want to answer the question, where are people on this balance sheet and income statement of life? And the great thing about this balance sheet and income statement of life is no matter what country I'm in, it is the only language, whether it's German, English, French, Japanese, it is their language as well. There is no language barriers here. Anybody want to tell me where people are on this one? Expenses is one guess. Anybody else want to take another guess? Excuse me? Assets is another one. Anybody else want to try? Liabilities. I always love that one. Liabilities. That's a perfect one. Oh, I have someone to say someone's revenues, and I'm all set. And I always say the best thing about that one is I just need to find the accountant who says I can put my people anywhere. Assets, expenses, liabilities, revenues, and that would be the way we'd account for business, but I don't think so. The sad story from my wife is there's only one answer here. People are expenses. There is no other choice. You all knew that in the first place. I didn't have to tell you whether you're a W-2, a K-1, a 1099, or a pink slip like I have been twice. That's business. Everything my wife cares about is an expense. Now let's try this again. Where are customers on this wonderful economic map? Anybody want to try this? Revenues. Anybody else agree with that? Assets, people are saying. Anything else? Don't you have those customers who just hate to have, oh, God is going to ask me for something other than what I offer every day. Don't you wish those were liabilities sometimes? Well, the answer is they're nowhere. Revenues are not customers. Customers are from the sale of a product or a service. That is not a customer. The whole system is broken. People are not expenses. Customers are not revenues. Assets are not even assets. Any of you who know the utility industry knows. Here's the number. There's $750 billion too much of that stuff. That means if you think the real estate crisis was difficult, try the fact we as ratepayers, they wouldn't call us customers, we as ratepayers are going to bail out that industry for $750 billion. That's not an asset in my book. That's a liability.